Saturday fall morning. Look at these leaves, man. It's beautiful out here. It's beautiful out here. How y'all doing? I'm here live. It's been a minute, but I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about over the last few weeks, and I think that it's something that needs to be talked about, and also it'll be something that'll help some people out, right? So if you're watching this, thank you for watching this. If you're watching this, thanks for watching this. If you're watching this live, let me know where you're watching it from, all that jazz. If you're watching this on the replay, let me know that you're watching it on the replay. Either way, thank you for tuning in this Saturday morning. I know y'all probably busy sleeping in. That's cool. But I'm going to get right to it. So being a entrepreneur, and not even just being an entrepreneur, just being a person in general, support goes a long way, right? Whether it's financially, moral support, emotional support. Support is really a thing that helps us keep going, right? When we know that we have people who have our back, it motivates us to keep going. When we don't feel that support, sometimes we can feel like giving up. So that's why support is very important. In this society, though, I realized something, especially in the Christian community, which is really who I'm talking to today. In the Christian community, I feel like that our whole ideology of Christ and the Bible is built off of the perspective of being hurt by somebody, right? Everything that we do comes from the perspective of being forsaken, right? In the Bible it says, when your family forsake you, then will I lift you up, or whatever the Bible says. I'm paraphrasing, I probably chopped it up, but y'all get what I'm saying. And I think we take that component of the Bible, and that is our lens in which we view life. Everything is coming from this forsaken place. We think everybody is against us. We think that we have all these enemies. We think that everybody is out to get us. And when we live through that perspective, we build up these walls to protect ourselves from getting hurt, when the ultimate protector is Jesus, right? And we eliminate the opportunity for us to really mirror the characteristics of God, which is unconditional love. The reason why I say that is because I was reading something, you see it every now and then on social media. You see somebody post, stop supporting people that don't support you, and cut people off and all this. And we do it. And I think it's coming from a good place, but it's rooted in hurt and bitterness. But when we think about the characteristics of God, I've never seen in the Bible anywhere that Jesus didn't love people because they didn't love him. Literally, it's actually the opposite of that, that he died for people who didn't necessarily care or love him. So when I think about that, it's like our mindset is contradicting Jesus, right? If Jesus has this unconditional love, if God loves everybody, why do we feel that everything that we do has to have conditions when it involves people, right? Jesus said, these two commandments I leave you: love God and love people, right? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And I think about that a lot, because I see people just moving in that space of hurt, and I don't think they realize that's how they moving. Your love for people, your involvement with people, your willingness to do things for people, to help people, is based on whether or not they can serve you. And that's not how Jesus works. I've never read that in the Bible. So I was thinking about this support thing, right? I see people who have big events, and the people who they want to come don't come, and they don't make this post. Everybody that came needs to come. Those who didn't come, this and that, and support the people that support you. And it just doesn't sit well with me. So I want to talk about why it's important for us as Christians to really shift our mindset of having this conditional love and this conditional support for people, and really embrace the unconditional love of God. One of the reasons why we need to do that as Christians is because the Bible tells us to, right? The Bible is not a book that says, hey, only do for people if they do for you, or only love people who love you, or only serve people who serve you. The Bible is literally a book one of the running things of the Bible is humility and like serving people. And when we get this arrogant stance of that people have to do things for us in order for us to do things for them, we're contradicting what the Bible says. So in order for us to like truly mirror the characteristics of Christ, the characteristics of God, like we have to be unconditional in the things that we do. Now, I'm not saying let people take advantage of you, set boundaries, of course, but to have this mindset of I'm only supporting people that support me, it's not of Christ. And I mean, that's where I stand with it. You may disagree. If you disagree, go ahead, let me know. You know, I'm cool with it. You know, I don't mind people disagreeing with me. I actually like disagreement because it makes for great conversation. So if you disagree with me, let me know. If you agree with me, let me know. But to my point, I think that if we truly want to mirror the characteristics of Christ, we have to eliminate that conditional love or that conditional support thing. Like it should be, you should want to serve people because you want to serve people. You should want to do things for people because you want to do things for people. And their response to you doing things shouldn't dictate how you move. And that's how a lot of us do it. And it's based on, like I said, it's rooted in hurt. It's rooted in us having some type of trauma or past experience where somebody took advantage of us and we put up these defense. I'll never let that happen again. And we remove the opportunity for us to like truly move unconditionally. Like for me, I support everybody, even the people that don't support me, right? That's why you always see me at events. You always see me sharing people posts. You always see me shouting people out because, and most times none of those people will ever share a post I share, and they will never buy a product that I sell. They will never buy a service. And I'm cool with that. Not because when I do things, I don't do it because I want something in return. And I think that's the way that we have to look at it. Your reasoning behind not doing something is because you want something in return. And that's not love at all. That's a contract, right? That's business. And when we have people that we are involved with, loved ones especially, right, and we don't get things in return, we want them, I'm only doing this because I want you to have this with me. I read this book called No More Mr. Nice Guy. And it ain't necessarily the same as this, but the concept of it is kind of the same. It talks about this thing called covert contracts. It's basically like these men would do things for people with expectation to have something in return without even telling the people this is what they want in return. So it's like they'll do things, you know, they'll be nice, they'll buy dinner, they'll buy gifts, they'll do all of these nice things, and then when they don't get those things in return, they use it against the people that they did it to. Like, yo, I did this for you, I did this for you. And it's like the person didn't even sign up for that. You know, they thought you were just being nice. And you're using that as a way to manipulate and control a relationship or a situation. And a lot of us do that, you know, with whether it's, like I said, whether it's with our romantic partners, whether it's with our families or our friends, or whether it's with people in general. We expect people to do things without telling them, hey, this is what I want in return. Now, if you want to do that, that's fine. That's called business. Do business with people. Say, hey, listen, I'm going to do this and I want this in return. That's cool. But when you do it from a perspective of you expect them to already know what you want in return, that's coming from a bad place, and it's not good. And it's not the unconditional love that we see in the Bible, right? We have to be unconditional with the things that we do. You know, that's the way that Jesus did it. Nobody in the Bible could do anything for Jesus, right? Nobody. There was no reward for Jesus turning that water into wine for his mama. He did that because he loved her. There was no reward for Jesus healing the blind man. There was no reward for Jesus doing any of those things, right? There was nothing that those people could have gave Jesus. He did it because he loved people. And that's the way that we have to be when it comes to serving people, when it comes to doing things, when it comes to support. We have to support people because we want to support people, not because we want something in return. And if we be honest, if we truly be honest, it's us, right? We're only doing it to get something out of people, right? And to make ourselves feel better, that's when we hit the, man, I'm not supporting them no more, I'm cutting them up. No, You only supported them because you thought they was going to introduce you to a certain person. You only supported them because you thought they was going to invite you to the event and let you give you a little platform. You only supported them because you thought it was going to help you rub elbows with the different people. And it didn't happen that way. And now you feel bad about it. Instead of being honest and say, hey, man, I went into this situation expecting something. I was trying to take advantage of the situation. We turn those people into the bad guys and say, hey, they didn't support me, so I'm not supporting them. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? Let's be real. You know, we wanted something and we didn't get what we wanted, and now we're mad. Okay. So if we truly want to mirror the characteristics of Christ, everything that we do has to be unconditional. If we're going into business, it's a different story. If you're going into business with somebody, make sure you have conditions, make sure you have standards and everything. But if this is purely out of love, if this is your loved ones, your friends, if you're doing this because you love them, it should be no conditions, right? Have boundaries. Don't get taken advantage of. But when you do things, do them out of the kindness of your heart without looking for return. This applies in marriage. This applies in your parenting. This applies in your the siblings, your family. It applies everywhere. Do things without looking for a return. Listen, I'll tell you this much. This is what I learned after I was married. When you're married, you are supposed to love your spouse unconditionally, meaning that everything that I do is not looking for something for you to return the favor. This is because I love you. And when that is the mentality, and you have two people with that mentality, all they're going to think about is serving each other and loving each other. And that will breed a healthy marriage. When you have your children, right? And I see this often. We see it in the media. We see it different places where parents will raise their kids and the kids will become successful. And we have this mentality of, oh, well, you have to give back, or you got to do this for your mom. You got to do this for your dad because we sacrifice all of this stuff for you. No, that's not how it works. Everything you do as a parent should be because you love your children, not because you setting them up for success in the future and you want them to return a favor. When it comes to your family, you do things out of the kindness of your heart, not because you want them to do anything in return. So when we embrace that concept of support and how Jesus does it, I think we'll be in a better place. The second thing that I want to say on this, when we support people unconditionally without looking for a return, it sets us up for opportunity for growth, spiritual growth, especially for not only us, but for other people, right? For us, what that does is it teaches us how to have compassion. It teaches us how to love. It teaches us how to forgive. It teaches us how to love people as we love ourselves. When we're doing these things out of the kindness of our heart and because we truly, genuinely love people, it puts us in a place of humility that we begin to learn how to really serve people without looking for anything in return. How this helps other people spiritually grow, when other people see you doing for people that they know, like, hey, he's not getting nothing out of this, yet he's still serving these people. His heart is genuine. His heart is pure. Her heart is genuine. Her heart is pure. I need to be more like them. It gives them something to model themselves after. So when we operate from this place of unconditional love, unconditional support, man, that sun is shining bright right now. When we operate from this space of unconditional love and unconditional support, it gives us an opportunity to grow spiritually, right? So the first thing, it mirrors the characteristics of God. The second thing, it gives us an opportunity to grow spiritually. And last but not least, let me go back just a little bit because I'm gonna be real, I forgot what my third point was. So I'm gonna just go back and reiterate another thing until it come back to my head. But yeah, man, we just got to get out of this mindset of that. What have you done for me lately, right? We got to get out of this mindset of I'm only doing things if you do it for me. We got to get out of this mindset of supporting people. Listen, when you support only the people, there we go, I got it. When you support only the people that support you, you're really limiting yourself, right? The opportunities that you're looking for, the opportunities that you want will literally come out of you not trying to get it, which you just literally serving. Doors will open up for you. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it in my life. People that I would just go and serve, and I'm not looking for nothing in return. That person will spread. Matter of fact, this is a prime example, right? When Joseph was in jail, right? Joseph was interpreting dreams. Joseph was doing all of these things, right? And he did these things. And when he interpreted these dreams, He's still in jail all these years. The person that dream he interpret goes back and says, hey, man, it's a dude in jail right now, man, that can solve your problem, right? What happens when we just serve people because we serve people? We never know who those people are connected to. And we don't go into the mindset think, oh, man, they might be connected to somebody. Let me be nice to them. No, what I'm saying is this. We never know who is connected to who or how God wants to connect us to who we need to be connected to take us to the next level, to take us to our next season. And because we only support people that that support us, we shut ourselves off from any opportunity of God using random people to bless us, right? So you have to have this mindset of like, you know what, God, I'm just going to serve people. And whatever you choose to do in those moments with those people, I'm going to embrace it, right? It could be somebody that, you may be seeing somebody, maybe you out in the parking lot, right? And somebody's car just died and you got some jumper cables. Say, hey, can I use your jumper cables? And you jump their car. That person may go home and say, hey, man, there was this dude at Walmart that gave me a jump and it got me back home. You don't know who that person connected to. That person, may be somebody that can open up a door for you or give you an opportunity. But when you serve people unconditionally, it gives you space. It open up the opportunity for things like that to happen. So we got to eliminate this whole mind. Like, I really hate it, man. I really hate the way that we use the Bible. The perspective in which that we interpret the Bible, like it's like this us against them, or yeah, man, forget them. They did this to us, but we got God, so we good. Yeah, that, but not that, right? We shouldn't feel like it's a I told you so, right? That's what it is. It's a I told you so gospel. And that's not the way that the Bible was designed. That's not the characteristics of Christ. That's not the characteristics of God. And we shouldn't live in this I told you so gospel space, right? God does everything because he loves people. And that's the reason why we should do things, right? There's going to be people who do take advantage of our love, that do take advantage of our support. That shouldn't dictate how we move and how we love and how we support people. That's a character flaw on them, not on you. But when we allow people to dictate how we move because somebody misused or mishandled our unconditional love, now we're going to keep it to ourselves and don't give it to nobody. We are stopping people from experiencing a true move of God, and that's through unconditional love. So I say all that to say this, man, support people. I don't care if they don't support you. I don't care if they never tell you they proud of you. I don't care. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all where this really came from. I'm going to be honest with y'all, all right? I'm going to be honest, open, and transparent. So I had a moment a few days ago, man. I was in, I had a little, I was in my feelings. And when I was in my feelings, I was thinking about, like I said, most of you who follow me know that, I went through a divorce. It's been almost 5 years now. And when I went through that season of my life, man, I went through it alone. A lot of it I went through alone. I didn't have family like that. None of my family truly, nobody ever said, hey, Tommy, you good? Hey, Tommy, how you doing? You all right? But I would hear and see the side conversations within my family, within people I know, and different things like that. And I would see my family, when I would do things where, I felt like, man, this is a great thing that I did, man. I came out of this, I become a better person, and I didn't get the applause that I thought that I should get from my family, and I did get the support that I thought I would get from my friends. And I would build programs, build product, and I would perform at events, and I would do all of these things. And I'm like, yo, I got all these people here support me, but the people that I really care about aren't supporting me. They not there for me. And this was recently, and I'm just in my feelings, and I would see my families and my siblings and my people that I thought I was close to support other people who are doing the same thing that I'm doing. I would see them share Facebook posts with people. I would see them congratulate people on different life events that they were doing. And I'm like, man, they've never done that for me. And it made me feel some type of way. And God dealt with me yo, you got all these people that support you. It's okay that they don't support you. That shouldn't dictate how you move and how you support and how you love your family. Because I recall, I would randomly text my siblings. I would randomly text people that I love. Hey, man, I'm proud of you. Hey, everything that you're doing, man, listen, you're doing a great job. You're doing this. And God like, yo, you didn't do that because you wanted anything in return. Stop looking for a return. Still do that. Don't let that dictate how you move. Still love people. Still congratulate people. Still support people. Still show up for people. Even though they don't show up for you, still show up for people. Eventually they will get the picture. And if they don't, that's fine too. But don't let it be said that you never showed up for anybody. That's not how I built you. That's not how I created you. I didn't create you to have conditional love. I didn't create you to only show up for people who show up for you. Show up for people that need you. Show up for people that need somebody to show up for them for. That's the whole point of this thing. And that's really it. Show up for people who need you to show up for them. That's what unconditional love is, right? If we shut down because, oh man, they don't support me, and you see them struggling and they need something that you got, and because they didn't come to your birthday party, you ain't gonna go support them. Because they didn't tell you happy birthday, you ain't gonna go show up for them. No. Show up. Be you in every environment that you step in. Don't let how people show up for you dictate how you show up for them. Again, I'm not saying let people take advantage of you, and yes, set boundaries, but if you know you got something that can help somebody and you not going to give it to them because they didn't help you, you just as wrong as them. You just as wrong as them. And that's not how the Bible is set up. Jesus ain't never did that. I ain't never seen in the Bible where Jesus didn't perform a miracle because somebody ain't show up for him. I ain't never seen that. I can be mistaken. If you seen it, let me know. Show me the scripture so I can go read it, because I can be, maybe I ain't ready yet. You know, I'm all for being corrected. But nowhere in the Bible have I read that Jesus didn't show up for people because they didn't show up for him. As a matter of fact, these niggas, the disciples went to sleep on Jesus, and Jesus still died for them niggas. Y'all, Jesus never not showed up for people because they didn't show up for him. So why do we think we can do that? Why do we think that we can say, hey, I'm not supporting them because they didn't support me, when we have something that they need, right? Yeah, don't cast your pearls to swine. Yeah, that's good. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about genuine support. When somebody has something, when somebody is in need of something, and you have that thing that they need, and you sitting there looking at them drowning, you got the donut thingy to save them, and you just look at, well, when I was drowning, they ain't helped me, so I'm gonna just let them drown. No. That's not how you're supposed to move. I don't care how people treat you. I don't care how people don't support you, how people ain't there for you. Your job as a believer, as a Christian, is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Would you let yourself drown? Your job as a believer is to love your enemies. I'm not making this up. It's in the Bible that you read. Your job as a believer is to have the unconditional love, right? You as a husband, right? Love your spouse as Christ loved the church. And them Negroes did not love Christ. He still loved them. He still died for them. He still gave his life for them. And we out here in our feelings because people don't show up to our event, because people don't share our posts, because people don't buy into our program, because people don't tag nobody in, because people don't stream our music. All these things, we in our feelings because people don't know. Keep doing what you do. Keep supporting people. I don't care if they don't support you. Love them, support them, because that's the way that you're supposed to do it. So, hopefully, this helps somebody today. It definitely helped me. It was a word that God gave me. I'm the first partaker in this, because I listen, anything that I say does not come from a place of you need to do this. It's coming from a place that I needed to do that, and this is what I did. So hopefully this helped y'all. Listen, I got some things coming up soon. I know I'm sitting up here talking about support. I got some things coming up soon. I need y'all's support. So please, when y'all see it, support me. I got my shirt. This is the Born Again Bachelor. It's a brand that I started, and I'm really excited about it. So y'all go see more stuff about that. But man, y'all have a good day. Y'all go support people. Y'all love on people, and don't let people dictate how you love and support people. All right.